guys made the necessary moves to get to 80?
I believe we did. I don't know if we've turned it in yet, but we've informed the guys.
You have informed the guys?
After. I don't want to have to announce their names.
But you haven't taken 3 quarterbacks on 53 very often, at least here. Given the depth of this roster, is it even harder to imagine how that's going to work?
Yeah, it's always hard, but it's something you debate every year. So something we'll debate this year. It's not always just the quarterbacks. It's kind of like you asked. It's how it plays off with other positions.
I think this is the last official training camp practice that you're going to have. Are you happy with Trey and how he went through the summer, and was getting a lot of reps a priority for you and for him?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'd like to get more reps. I'd like to have more of an OTAs. I'd like to have more of a training camp, but you get as much reps as you can possible in the amount of time.
Jason Poe's been getting reps with the ones. Is that anything to do with Aaron Banks, or is that just consciously you've seen something from Poe where you think he could compete for that job?
No, did he end the game?
I think it's just practice.
Yeah, I mean, Chris rotates those guys in there. I don't watch it like that.
What's the plan for Thursday night as far as the starters and how much Trey will play?
I haven't decided exactly. I mean, I want them to get out there, definitely, the ones, but we're going to talk about it as a staff more tonight after we watch this practice and stuff. I plan on playing those guys, but I haven't exactly decided how much. I know they won't go past the first half. It'd be the first half at the most.
Kyle, if you do not trade Garoppolo, there are 2 dates. Would you plan to release him on August 30th, final roster cuts, or would you keep him in the initial 52 days?
I don't know what I'll do that day. Probably decide when it comes. Like last time. We should all be alive.
Have you communicated much with him? Have you watched him throw? If you have, how does he look?
I communicate with Jimmy all the time. He looks the same as he always has. He always throws it really good. So looks the exact same.
Is he in any way a backup scenario if someone gets hurt? Could he be on this team?
I mean, I think any scenario is possible.
What do you want to see from Trey in the game on Thursday if you do end up getting him some reps, or is it more about just getting those reps in general?
I want to see him execute his job as well as he can. Get the team in and out of the huddle right, call the plays right, get the ball to the right spot. When he can't get it there, make sure he doesn't have a turnover and possibly makes a play. But just play the position the right way.
What kind of camp has Jeff Wilson had? Do you notice just being another year removed from that meniscus, some explosion back, anything like that?
Yeah.
Jeff, last year was so unfortunate for him getting hurt in the locker room in OTAs, and so he didn't get any off-season OTAs. He didn't get any training camp. Then he got healthy, about a week before we needed him in games. So Jeff last year played off, to me, all heart and helped us when he came in. And just this year, he's healthy, so to me, he's back to being the Jeff Wilson we've always seen.
And Hasty looks like, I don't know, he looks better than he has. What has he shown you this training camp?
Hasty's been solid. I mean, he's been solid since he's been here. That's why he's made some big plays in games. So whether it's in the pass game, run game, he's always tough on special teams and protection, and he's done a good job. And guys who are like that, who now I think this is his 3rd year with us, and he does keep getting better, and that'll continue to happen with him.
That route that he ran for the touchdown, does he do that better than any of the other backs?
Yeah, probably.
Wilson does it pretty well too, right?
That's probably, Jeff would be pretty offended. Jeff hasn't gotten many of those lately, but Jeff is extremely good at it too, and that's something Trey Sermon can do, and the other guys have the skill set to do it. They just need more practice at it.
Does Elijah see him on schedule for week 1? Or
Yeah, he does.
On schedule. We won't get him this week, but things are looking to have him back for week 1.
Kyle, as far as Mike Lynch, you kind of haven't given a set time on when he could return. Kind of what is his status, and is there a chance he could miss regular season games?
I think there's a chance because they haven't told me 100% for sure, but they're pretty optimistic about it. When we took it real slow with them, and then he had that setback in the game. That was, you know, it wasn't the exact same injury, but it was still on the same leg. So we wanted to take it slow with him, and we rested him last week. We're going to rest him this week, and we'll ramp him up next week and see how the pain tolerance is.
We think of it as the end of training camp because we don't see any more practice. Is it the end of training camp in your mind? Do you go into a different mode, especially starting next game, starting after this game?
I kind of been there for a while. You know, everything is about, to me, I'm always trying to think of our team. You know, who are going to be those guys who are in uniform in week one? Who are going to be those guys who are competing to be in uniform? Who are going to be those practice squad guys who's going to have to step up and be ready for that role if we lose someone in the next 10 days? And that's really every thought process that I personally have. Just looking forward for the whole team. You got a lot of guys fighting for the final spots. You got a lot of guys fighting for practice squad, and those things will take care of themselves in the next couple of days. Things to me been about the season.
Set generally is like the depth chart by now. Like, I know there obviously could be changes, but in your mind, the coaching staff, is the depth chart pretty well settled?
You have a good idea, but there's 6 different variables based off of, just 2 guys going against each other that might be at different positions. And so, yeah, that might be it's all settled but 2, but if you decide to go with one position over the other, then that might change 6 other positions. So you got an idea of your best 53. You got an idea of your, you got an idea of 16 practice squad guys you want to add, but at the end it's so close and it's different positions. So where are we going to go heavy? Where are we going to go light? And we just had a game a few days ago, and we got to play another game here in 2 days. And what can happen in that game? That can change stuff. So you got an idea, but there's still so much more communication you need and to go through so many scenarios because it changes every single day. And that's kind of what happens once the season starts too.
You've only had Gibson for a little bit, but do you see him as playing in this game, or do you see him as an option if Jimmy can't go early in the season to be able to contribute?
Be one. We just got him in yesterday where he got a little practice. He got more today, so it'll be fun to watch him on the tape, and hopefully he'll be in a good enough spot to put him in the game so we can get some game tape on him too.
Kyle, I realize that Ambry Thomas has been kind of banged up, but it doesn't seem like he's kind of taken that next step like maybe Diomede or Lenore has this training camp. What is Ambry's situation, and would you like to see more from him?
I just want to see them battle to make the team. The same with Demo, same with all those guys. I mean, after our starting 2 guys, and we got some guys really competing, and that could go any way. I know Ambry wants to get out there and compete, but unfortunately he hasn't been healthy. I mean, he tried as hard as he could to go last week. He definitely couldn't, and that's pretty obvious because he hasn't been able to go this week too. So he'll hold out hope. We'll hold out hope that he can get a chance versus Houston, but unfortunately he's been hurt right now.
I don't think I'm quoting you out of context, but you recently said, Trey, how he performs isn't going to make or break this season. Trey Lance, how he performs isn't going to make or break this season. And obviously NFL quarterbacks are very influential. But why do you feel that way?
I felt that way 5 years in a row here. You definitely it's always tough when you lose your starting quarterback, which, we've had to do, I think, 3 of the years. That's hard to overcome. But I never picture our quarterback being the exact reason why we're going to win or lose. If you can stay healthy there and you have the right team and stay healthy at other spots, then I don't think it does come down to that. If you do struggle in some areas and you get a lot of guys hurt in some areas and you got to put all that pressure on that position, then yeah, it does, just like it does with every team. And usually when it comes down to just the quarterback, usually that's tough for most teams.
All right, guys, appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.